Of all the nice things she could have said, that was it.
That was pretty good, actually.
If any of you are looking for a blonde blob on the floor, she's unemployed. She just got fired. It really puts me in a bad place because now I have to say nice things about myself.
Okay, this is a first.
I am so excited about this wonderful achievement you've made in your lives. You know, just a few weeks ago, we had another graduation, some of your classmates that got finished a little bit before you. And they were sitting here and they were wearing blue and a lot of those beautiful honor sashes and good looking bunch. And I think a lot of them were feeling like, okay, I did it, but what's next? And it took me back to my own graduation experience. Yes, I did graduate from high school. I know what you're thinking. But I remember at my graduation, it was kind of like, yeah, I'll probably go to college and I'll do this and that, but I didn't really have a vision of what I wanted to do with my life. My father, who I dearly love, was a mail carrier. And he told me that the post office pays pretty good. Well, maybe. I just didn't know. I was just glad to be through with high school and be ready for the next thing. Well, at this graduation a couple weeks ago, we had a student that was sitting there and he had some plans. He had decided that he was going to join the United States Army and go into IT, information technology. And I met this graduate after, and he told me that, and it sounded good. And I said, well, if you're going to go into IT with the military, you know, information technology is a broad field. I said, maybe you ought to pick that. She did that. Maybe you should pick a little narrow niche out of that called cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is becoming a very, very important niche. And he communicated to me a little bit later in the cafeteria that he was thinking about maybe that's what he'd do. He would go for cybersecurity in the military. Well, last night, this student and his family pulled in from the East Coast-ish, because he is now a student in cybersecurity at IST. And I haven't seen Clarence this morning. Clarence, are you here? Is he here? He's probably in helping the cafeteria. Someone go find him for me, will you? Go find Clarence. I want you to meet him, because he was a brilliant young man that graduated from high school and he wasn't really sure what he was going to do. I have plans for him. I can tell you before he gets here. He's going to do something great, and I see that in him. Bill Lear, the guy that made the Learjet, he started Motorola, one of the great industrialists of America, saw something in me that I didn't see. He saw that I had the ability to do extraordinary things. And I didn't really see it that way. You know, post office pays pretty good. I think I could do that. But he said, no. My mission today, I only have a couple minutes because she took all the time. But my mission is to infuse you with the realization that you have the power to do just about anything you want. I believe you were given the finest high school education that a student could ever receive. When I decided that my next mission was going to be to really try to turn around education in America, because we're not exactly leading the world. Well, we're leading from behind. But people told me, hey, Roger, you're crazy. You can't save education. It's impossible. And to them I said, my goal isn't to save education. My goal is to save the kids from education. Is that Clarence over there? Hey, come in here. Come wave at these guys. So, see what happens to innocent people that just want to graduate? And you know what? This guy has talent. There's a spark of divinity, she said, in us. Made it sound like it was at church. But there is. And you can do things in your life if you will put your mind to it, and if you'll set a goal and then be unrelentless in determining that you're going to achieve it. You really can. And you know, you don't have to build a space station on Jupiter to outdo Elon Musk to achieve your goal. You need to do the thing that matters to you. And it might be working at the post office. If you could be the kind of a person that my father was and do the things that he did with me because he had time, because he worked at the post office, that might be exactly the goal you want to choose. But choose it. Now, I want to just tell you one principle of life that I've learned. If there is something like saving education that is so challenging and difficult that it's impossible, don't turn away. Stop and take a look at that. If it can be done, especially if it's easy, then it has been done. And if you do it, no one will care. But boy, when you do something that can't be done, people really stand up and pay attention. Just think about it. And things aren't always like they seem. Sometimes people get discouraged and give up because it looks like it's the end. There's just no way out of a situation, so I give up. But it's not always as it seems. There's a story that one of my heroes once told, and this guy you probably heard of, President Reagan, Ronald Reagan, remember him? I had the privilege of meeting President Reagan, and he is an amazing person in my book. But he told this story, and think about it, because it might inspire you of how to take on some of the challenges ahead of you in your lives. He said there were 2 twin boys born to a family. They were identical, but in personality, they were opposites. One of the twins was so positive, and he had a good outlook about things are always going to be good. No matter what happened, it was good. The other one, negative, negative, negative. No matter what happened, he would always find the bad in it. So they went to a school counselor. What do we do? And he said, I'll tell you what. Christmas is coming up. If you'll do this plan, it'll straighten out both your sons. It'll bring your over-positive guy back, and it will pump up your negative guy, and they'll be twins. So they did. On Christmas morning, the negative kid opened the door, and there was a room full of the most expensive, beautiful toys money can buy. There they were, and he walked in there with all those toys. And the parents watched as he started looking at them and threw them down. He said, they're probably all going to be broke by nighttime. So then they went into the other room. Now the counselor said, in that room, don't put any toys. Just put a big pile of horse manure. That'll bring him down to reality. So they went into his room, and there was horse manure flying all over in the room, and the kid was in there digging through that horse manure. And they said, what are you doing? He said, with all this horse shit, there must be a pony in here somewhere. Guys, life is what you choose to make it. If you want a ho-hum life, then be ho-hum. But if you want to have the kind of fun that Paige and I are having, then wake up, engage every day, live life to its fullest. Did you know that sadness, self-pity, or happiness are choices? It isn't what happens to you, it's what you do with it. So my advice to you is go out and really, really, really make things happen. Now, we're out of time, but I just got to tell you one more Ronald Reagan story, because this one is one that tells you how to take on those challenges that are impossible. There was a guy that loved animals. He loved them, and so he thought the perfect job for him would be to work at the zoo. So he went to the zoo and applied, and they said, well, we do have an opening. Might not be what you were expecting. What is it? Well, last week, the gorilla died. And the kids love the gorilla, and we're trying to get another one, but until we get another gorilla, how would you like to be the guy that dresses up like a gorilla? And he said, I love animals, I don't love being the animals, but he took the job because they said when they got a gorilla, he could get promoted. So he was out there, and the kids came, and he's in that gorilla suit looking at them, and can you imagine how weird that would be? Anyway, the kids, though, they came and they'd look at him and they get so excited. It's a gorilla. And so he started doing tricks for him. And pretty soon he got so into this gorilla thing that he started swinging from the tree, which was really impressive, except for that one time when he accidentally swung over the fence and landed in the lion's den. Bad moment. And he was hoping the lion wouldn't notice, but the lion was up on the rock, and he jumped down. He came running over to him, and just when the lion was going to be his end, he started screaming bloody murder. I'm not a gorilla. Help me, someone. It's just a guy in here. Please help me. And the lion said to him, if you don't shut up, we're both going to get fired. Guys, things aren't always as they seem. Go for the gold in life, and you will find it. And it may not just shine, it may not twinkle, but it will bring you the joy, the happiness, and fulfillment of a life well lived. Congratulations on this achievement. Let this be the beginning of so very much more. Thank you.